Don't be sleeping on me, bro. I be out here singing, you know what I'm saying? I be out here singing. Don't be fooled. I just don't listen to rap music. I need to open up sometimes, man. You sing some Bobby V in your bitch's ear, and she might take the Vickies off. I'm just letting y'all know that she might take the Vickies off. All right, man. Today, man, we got another list video. I was deciding maybe I was gonna give y'all the worst albums, but I'm still feeling good, man. You know, I'm feeling happy after I did that top slowed. A lot of y'all got a lot of feedback from that. Y'all was really feeling that, so I'm glad y'all appreciated that video. So today we're just gonna do the honorable mentions. I got my book right here with all my stuff in it. You know, composition book. You know, this still goes to use. This is like my motherfucking senior year chemistry book right here. But we got honorable mentions, man. These are the albums that I really liked, but I could not put them in my top 10 albums. I only did, damn, I just gave it away. Well, I did top 10 albums, so these couldn't make it on my top 10, but they are still great albums that I, you know, I loved all throughout the year, and you know, I caught myself listening to over and over again. So, you know, with that being said, I'm not gonna do too much. Oh yeah, please ain't. Here you go. You can't see him right now. That man motherfucking all white when he feeling godly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't see him right now. But you know, let's get right into this. Like always, been fucking talking too much. Honorable mentions. Let's get it. All right, so this is not gonna go in any necessary order, man. You know, I'm just gonna talk about each album that I wrote down. It doesn't really go in order. There's no 20 to 1. It's literally just me talking about. Come on, man, stop texting me. It's literally just talk about me, you know, with the albums and which ones I really loved and which ones, you know, like what stood out for me for these albums to be included in this list. So we just gonna start off hot. We're gonna start off on fire. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all might not agree with me right here with this one, but it is what it is. We got 6ix9ine, Dummy Boy. I don't care what y'all say, man. I feel like this man, you know, 6ix9ine did his thing regardless of all the legal issues that are going around with him, regardless of, you know, what he did in his past when he was 17, regardless of how he acts, how ignorant he is. I don't care about that. I'm just talking about what that album was and how fire that album was from start to finish. There was literally only 2 bad tracks on there. Shit, I was contemplating on putting that shit in my top 10. That's how fire I thought that album was. Because he did it with 6ix9ine. We did not expect to get a Kendrick, J. Cole storytelling, lyrical. We didn't expect that. We knew what 6ix9ine was here for. He was here for that energy. He was here to make the party jump, and that's exactly what he did. Each track, my favorite track on there being like Tati. Bro, I listen to Tati right there. Man, hey, Tati, I've been thinking about and I try to tell y'all, man, look. Sometimes the music is not all about the lyrics. Yeah, look, I get it. It's not always about the lyrics, but you still have to have a sonically pleasing song. It still has to come together with the production. You can say a lot of nothing as long as you can make it sound good, and that's exactly what 6ix9ine did with Dummy Boy. I enjoyed the project. So Scott Storch 2 features on there. The Tory Lanez feature on there was fire. I just loved it. I feel like, you know, if 6ix9ine wasn't in jail, the album would have did very well if it were released on the day it was supposed to release on that Friday. I think it would have did really well. Let me cross that out. Hold on, let me cross it out real quick before I forget. Y'all know I'll be forgetting. Another album I wanted to talk about was Drip Season 3, man. A lot of y'all told me to listen to it. Y'all want to see it on video. I really didn't have the time because I listened to Gunna so late and a lot of albums came out this holiday, so I really didn't have any time to put Drip Season 3 into the reaction or even do a review about it. But man, Drip Season 3, man, y'all were right. I was definitely wrong about Gunna. I still honestly don't believe that he's the next one up, but I agree with you guys that Gunna made an amazing album. He is the protege of Young Thug, and I think he is, you know, not saying the next one up, but he will be an artist who is here to stay. You know, Gunna definitely has that sound that Young Thug brought us over the last, you know, what, 5-6 years. And I think that now with Thug kind of just, you know, taking a step back and, you know, doing his own thing, taking his time with himself, that Gunna is just going to take his place and continue that YSL slime season type flow, all that kind of music. And I'm appreciating it. I'm all here for it. You know, my favorite track on there being Top Off. Top Off is I'm going to give it to y'all. It's one of my top 30 songs of the year. And that's another video I have. But it's one of my top 30 songs of the year. I love that song start to finish. I felt the energy. I like the beat. I like the, what was this other song on there that I liked on Drip Season 3? Oh Baby. The one with Lil Baby on it. And, oh, was it Oh Baby? Or was it Oh Okay? Oh Okay. The one with the track with Lil Baby and Young Thug on there. I felt like, you know, there's a lot of tracks on there that you get that trap sound, and, you know, Gunna just, you know, giving us that old Thug-esque. And I feel like, you know, that was just another great project that I missed out on earlier in the year because I was sleeping on Gunna, and I apologize for that. You know, I apologize deeply. Cross it out! Next album I want to get into, man, that was really great. That came out too early in the year, I believe, but, you know, it is what it is. It's Sylvan LaCue's Apologies in Advance. I felt like that was a very complete album from start to finish. Y'all showed me Young Sylvan last year, and, you know, I came into a liking into him. I definitely love what he had to, you know, from Searching Sylvan, from his Quest days. I listen to all his music now. Me and Sylvan are actually really great friends now that we talk every once in a while. We got to link up sooner or later, but aside from that, you know, this is not even me being biased. If you haven't listened to Apologies in Advance, from start to finish, my favorite tracks on there being Empathy. Like, Empathy is probably, like, you know, he has tracks like Best Me that he already released last year, which is a strong single that really went. Even Gary Vee was listening to it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know who Gary Vee is a very motivational speaker on Instagram. So, you know, like, Empathy, I use it on a lot of vlogs. I use it on my intro and whatnot because it's so fire. You know, that the production on the album from start to finish was well put together, and it's just another diamond in the dirt that isn't given the you know, the time or the day because he doesn't have that virability, or because he doesn't have the big, you know, record label behind him, and, you know, he's independent. He doesn't have that big enough push to put him over the edge. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, he has his fans. In time he will grow. And, you know, sooner or later, if he keeps working on his craft and he keeps continuing to putting out music, he will grow. But if you haven't taken a listen to that Apologies in Advance, you need to go ahead and listen to it because it is a fire-ass album from start to finish. If you love those cool, mellow sounds, you know what I'm saying, this is definitely going to be an album for you. If you love that wordplay, you know, he gets very intricate with his words, man. Just take a listen to it, man. Cross it out. Cross it! Another album that I felt like that I really didn't like at the beginning, but it grew on me. I'm clicking my pen because I have ADHD, but it grew on me. Is well, I was saying no, wrong one. Is A$AP Rocky Testing. I definitely did not like this album at first. I didn't know what A$AP Rocky was doing. I was expecting a At Long Last ASAP type feel. I was expecting one of those, you know, because Rocky had so much time with him. And I think that was the problem going into the project, because I expected so much from the previous Rocky that we had that I didn't give a chance for his new art. I didn't give a chance for what he was trying to say and what he was trying to do on this album. And it's exactly as the album says, testing. That's, you know, he was going through it. You know, he had the one phone call track in there with Kodak, which I thought was really funny, but, you know, that was kind of creative. And then he had that track with Skepta that I felt like it was fire. He what was the other track on there that I can't really put my mind to it right now that he had? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. F Sleep and OG Beeper. I think that was the two tracks right there. I just looked it up right there. That was pretty fire to me, man. I also like the track with French Montana with the jazzy sound. That definitely grew on me on as well. You know, I felt like that was kind of A$AP Rocky's Yeezus, if you want to put it into a comparison, where, you know, he just, we won't appreciate it right now. Maybe some of y'all still don't appreciate it, but if you keep listening to it, give it a time, see what he was doing, even in the intro with the distorted sounds, you're gonna like the album. I mean, personally, that's how I felt about it. Like, I was like, you know what, this isn't even that bad actually when you play it through. So something that, you know, it grows on me. Look, like I said, I do first listens, and I tell you exactly how I feel on the first listen. That's what y'all gonna. It's the first listen. Understand what I'm saying? If you want to go listen to a review, go listen to Melon, because he takes his time with it. I'm a first listen, and then I'm gonna come back later and tell y'all that I fucked up. I got no problem telling you I fucked up. It was kind of straight. Like, cross it out. The next one I want to tell y'all is Oxnard Anderson Pop, that came out recently about a month and a half ago. Yeah, a month and a half ago. I definitely love that album. You know what I'm saying? It had a lot of jazzy sounds. You know, my favorite track on there being that Cold track. You know, trippy. Cole came in that junk and just ate it like he's been doing all year on all his features. But Anderson Paak, you know, he's one of those ones where you have to have an acquired taste. It's either you like that type of music or you don't. You either like those classical sounds, you like all the instruments, you like the jazzy shit, or you don't. I mean, I'm not mad for the people that really don't like that, but for me personally, I grew up on that. It reminds me of CeeLo Green, where he raps, but at the same time, he has this kind of weird persona going for him. And I feel like Anderson Paak is, you can't really say he slept on. I just think he's in the wrong era. This is not an era for where his sound is going to is going to swing the masses. It's going to bring a certain crowd, a specific crowd, and they're going to like him, and he's going to have his fan base, kind of like how Cudi has. Like Cudi right now, I mean, people still love Cudi, but not as much as they used to love him before. You know, but because he was in the right era, he had his fan base, and it's still a strong fan base because he has a cult that's following him no matter where he goes. Kind of thing, same thing for Anderson .Paak. But unless he does something differently, for the way music is set up right now, I can't see him, you know, going over, you know, that bump because of what people want to listen to nowadays. And it sucks, but it is what it is. Cross it out! Now, a lot of y'all told me to listen to Flatbush Zombies album. And I must say, if y'all want to ask me personally, I do say that it is a top 5, maybe even top 7. I would say top 7 rap album of the year. I agree with you. But my list isn't consistent of just rap albums. I listen to a lot of music. Just because I know a lot of y'all want to put the list up there because a lot of y'all only listen to rap music. There's a lot of art. There's a couple of R&B in my top 10. I will be real with y'all. There's a couple R&B in my top 10 because I felt like those albums were really great and they deserve that top spot. Now, in terms, like I said, there's a rap album top 5. We already know Michi. You know what I'm saying? Like Michi is one of my favorite dudes because he reminds me of A$AP Ferg. From start to finish, I love the production. I love the grittiness. I love how they were grinding on every track. The bars, you know what I'm saying? Them three going at it. It's just, for me, it was some of the tracks where they got a little repetitive to me. Like, it was more of a time or place setting for me where I had to listen to it. It was also 19 tracks. It was a very long album, and, you know, all they really did was rap. You know, they gave you bars. It was one of those albums where if you were a true hip-hop head, true rap head, you would love that shit. But for me, who wants something more, I want a little bit of versatility. I want something that, you know, to change the scenery. It just didn't give me that, and that's why I had to put it in my honorable mentions. I know a lot of y'all wanted to review a lot of where's the vacation in hell. I just didn't really get time to do the video, and plus it was 19 tracks. You know, a lot of stuff. It's hard to get to a lot of music. I don't know if y'all think I'm some kind of machine or something, but I got a life too. You know, like cross it out. Next one I want to get to is Bobby Tarantino 2, but my homie Young Sasuke. Me and the Rat Pack, we kind of had, I wouldn't say we had a falling out. So a lot of them are still supporting me, but after I listened to Young Sinatra, you know, the album that came out, well, not album, but the mixtape that came out in 2018, project, whatever you want to call it, I really kind of, you know, gave it to Logic, and I wasn't really feeling it. It just kind of felt like Logic is getting watered down, I was saying. But at the time when Bobby Tarantino 2 came out, I feel like we got a resurgence of life. You know, him throwing the, if y'all watch my video, man, I had the auntie curls going on, but him throwing shots at Joyner Lucas and telling him, like, look, you can't really step to me if you haven't done this, this, and this. I was kind of like, damn, Logic. And then, you know, giving us Warm It Up, featuring Young Sinatra, which is his, you know, his counterpart, and that kind of gave us like, damn, we're gonna get the old Logic back. That's how a lot of us was really feeling. I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking for me, but I feel like most people were kind of feeling like, damn, we're gonna get the old, you know, Logic back, and he's gonna give us, you know, Bobby Tarantino 2, Indica Badu with Wiz Khalifa. I didn't even know Logic smoked. I really honestly did not know Logic smoked, but that's pretty funny too. But Yuck was definitely the highlight of that album. And 44 more, when he was switching it into different flows, the transition to that song, how it transitioned 3 different times, yo, it gave me that reminiscent, like, yo, it reminded me of, you know, it reminded me of Tits. Like, I was just like, yo, this nigga is going in and the beat just keeps going. When is he gonna stop? I do think it's really funny, you know, having Jessica on the cover. Now she will forever be there. And it's unfortunate, you know, life happens. You know, they broke up. Logic, I got love for you. You know, we talk on Twitter every once in a while, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he broke up with his wife and he did what he did, and I don't know if that's for the better for him. You know, he started getting huge. He just started having more fun with life, and I just hope that, you know, with all the success that he has had, that he just remembers where he came from and that his mental is okay. You know, F the music. Just make sure your mental is okay, Bobby. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters, because I felt like even though people are telling you that the album is this and this and that, and you got people saying that you're a pop star and whatever, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, just keep your health good. Remember, your family loves you, and just keep it moving forward, man. You did exactly what you said you were going to do when you were an MD. you a star now, fam. And I respect that. Just couldn't make the top 10, though. Cross it out! The Weeknd, My Dear Melancholy. Even though it was only 5, it was 6 tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks, 5 tracks, whatever, y'all know what I mean. 5 tracks, 6 tracks. felt it was very solid for being an EP. I mean, I know a lot of we don't like to include EPs. We just want to do albums. No, I'm gonna include EPs too. All right, EPs, mixtapes, whatever it came out this year, I'm gonna include it in my list because I'm gonna count it. It's on Apple Music. Your shit is an album. All right, that's how I feel about it. If it's on Apple Music, it's an album. Period. So that was on Apple Music, and I feel like with The Weeknd, he was very vulnerable at that time. We kind of got the dark side of The Weeknd back. You know, you can see him breaking up with the stages of him breaking up with Selena, and then, you know, with Bella and all that going out. And now they're back together too, and it's kind of crazy. But you can see how he kind of was putting himself out there, and when he actually did it, because he was always crying about it in the trilogy, or y'all don't know, I call it a trilogy because y'all don't know what the different mixtapes are called. So balloons and all that. Look, y'all, that's my days when I used to get freaky deaky on them, you know. But you know, when he was always crying about that, going through the drug abuse and just going through the times where he just really didn't trust anybody, he finally opened up to Selena, and what does Selena do? She does exactly what he was goddamn preaching about in Trilogy. And then now he comes back and makes My Dear Melancholy, and everybody's like, damn, The Weeknd is back. And another thing too is like when he got to his stardom, when we listened to him on Dat Piff, I don't know if y'all know about Dat Piff, but Dat Piff was like the way to go for mixtapes. Hood niggas used to download that shit. We love Dat Piff. Dat Piff would pave the way. It was like Lil Wayne's holy ground. So when we got this, and I'm just like, yo, My Dear Melancholy, I'm like, yo, this reminds me of, you know, someone hurt him. And exactly, that's what we got, the pain, we got the darkness. I don't know if he was on the drugs, but like I said, he does the drugs. He has to, you never stop doing the drugs. You do it every once in a while. I just felt like, you know, I love that vulnerability we got it from, and I wish we can get a whole album like that. And that's the reason why I didn't make my top 10, only because it was 5 tracks, and I wish we would have got a little bit more. So we would have had like to see his, you know, showcase his full skills to see if he still has it. I mean, I know that y'all like Starboy and all that, but I mean, Starboy is nothing compared to what he used to make back in the day, because he is a different person. He has to, you know, show out for the public. He has to be this figure because, you know, he's such a big star now. Cross it out. Next one I want to get to is Summer Walker. Well, Summer Walker, boy, Last Days of Summer. I was contemplating also putting this in my top 10. I wanted to make a top 12, to be really honest. Like, shit, I might honestly make a top 12 now, because I felt like Summer Walker's project leading up to all that stuff that she had, you know, Girls Need Love, you know, CPR, all those tracks leading up to her album. And I think she, you know, she finessed the album like crazy from start to finish. There was no bad track on that project. You know what I'm saying? Last Days of Summer. And, you know, this, first of all, look, let's get to the track. We got Girls Need Love, CPR, Prayed Up. Prayed Up reminds me of Jamie Foxx. Kind of, you know what? This Last Days of Summer by Summer Walker reminds me of Jamie Foxx Intuition. One of the most slept on albums at the time when it came out, and no one really knew that Jamie Foxx could do this. Jamie Foxx released a previous album, but no one really knew he could do that. The same thing for Summer Walker. I'm There, Karma, Just Like Me. The production from start to finish, the watery sounds, you know, the soft tone voice from Summer Walker, yo. Like, the girl can sing her ass off, and it sucks that no one is really out here trying to listen to these vibes, because that's exactly what she's giving you. The vibes. To be honest, I'm about to make a top 11, because this shit really deserves to be in that shit. This album is fire start to finish. And it's not even one of those albums where, you know, you fall in love type shit, or you're sad as hell and you're going through it. This is just one of those albums where you're appreciating somebody singing somebody's art. Remember when Jhené Aiko came out with Sailing Souls, or Sailing Out? And it's like, you listen to that project, and it wasn't because, you know, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we not, you know, if you listen to music like that, you're not soft. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not soft. You know, you just like good music. So you listen to music. I kind of look like Blueface right now, nigga. Blueface looking like me, nigga. The hair there. Shut the fuck up, this bitch. I just looked in the mirror. I was like, yo, nigga, hair kind of look like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, for real though, man. Look, I'm just saying that her album, you know, it's more of an art than it is just a heartbreak. And, you know, take a chance on it. Go listen to it if you really like sounds like that, where you just kind of driving and cruising, and you love mellow sounds, you appreciate great singing. I think this project, Summer Walker, will be just for you. But let's cross it out. Next one I want to get at, man, is Kanye's Ye. Man. First time I listened to it, that first track, intro. one of the most talked about intros in that month of what, June? Was it May, June? It had to be May, June when he released his whole month of projects. But that intro, I thought about killing you, and I'm like, what is this man actually talking about? But when you really listen to what this man is saying, that track is so fire. I like listen to what Kanye was saying. He was preaching. And you know, you go into the tracks, you know, you go, the next track is Yikes. I thought Yikes was the hype track of the album, even Violent Crimes in there. It was 7 tracks, but I felt like it was the weakest Ye project we got in a while. I love that he was talking about his bipolarness. I love that he was opening up to us, accepting who he is, and telling you guys this is why I'm the reason why I am like I am. And I'm just being real with y'all. You know, he was being very raw, and we haven't really got that Kanye in a long time. I wouldn't say we had that Kanye since 808 and Heartbreaks. You know, we haven't got a raw Kanye like that in a while, and that's why I appreciate the album for what it was. I bought the vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, with Kanye having 7 tracks on there, it did leave us wanting more. And I thought we were going to get Yandhi this year, which I'm very upset about. But I just felt like it just wasn't one of Kanye's strongest projects. But even his not strongest project is better than a lot of people's projects this year. And that's why I put it on my honorable mentions. Another one I want to get at is Drogas Waves by Lupe Fiasco. I know I got, you know, Lupe Forever will be my top 3, top 2. Shit. It always fluctuates between J. Cole, Andre 3000. You know, it's J. Cole, Andre 3000, and Lupe Fiasco. If y'all want to know who my top 3 was, that's how it really goes. But with Drogas Waves, man, I appreciate what he did on the project. You know, first of all, it was so long. There was a couple weird tracks on there where I wasn't really feeling, but I understand, you know, finally being freed from Atlantic. You know, he kind of had that synergy going with there, saying like, you know, talking about the whole slaves and whatnot. You know, it was like a whole slave theme all throughout the project. You know, he was a slave to Atlantic. You know, when we got Lasers, that wasn't really supposed to come out. I know a lot of y'all really don't know that, but even though with Lasers coming out, he still made that a lyrical project. But it definitely sounded very watered down and very mainstream. You know, he finally being free from Atlantic, he made this. You know, he was bringing up a lot of things where comparing the industry, how it's a slave to before and now. Also comparing real life from before and now. I still listen to it now to try to understand it, but I can't tell y'all really that I loved it sonically. There was a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of tracks on there that are very weird to me, but from lyrical standpoint, I definitely love what Lupe was doing there. The one thing that where it comes to Lupe is I gotta accept is I think I'm just never gonna get I'm never gonna get the food and liquor. I'm never gonna get that laid back, you know what I'm saying, free spirited just Lupe Fiasco back. I'm just never gonna get him back, and I kind of gotta accept that. He has a different vision, you know what I'm saying. He knows where he wants to go now. He has a lot to say. And another thing that's really bad now is Lupe is also, you know what I'm saying, Lupe's been in the game for what, 15, 16 years now, almost 2 decades. And it's like no one really wants to hear what he did before. Before, what he did was very, very cool, very intricate. It stepped a lot of ways. It stepped, you know, Kendrick made a damn near album based off of what Lupe Fiasco already did. I feel like Lupe has this chip on his shoulder, and you can kind of still hear it in his music. It's getting a little bit better, but he has this chip on his shoulder where, you know, he's very underrated. He kind of feels like people don't really appreciate him, and he has his fans. And it's just like he lets it show off in his music, and it kind of affects his music. He doesn't know what he wants to speak on, so he speaks on actual real topics, and sometimes he gets a little too conscious, and he sacrifices, you know, just the sound and the art of the music by just being, I'm gonna let my lyrics carry me into the album, and that's what people are going to appreciate in 2018. Which is not really the case. I mean, you gotta have both, man. But, you know, nonetheless, man, honorable mention, man, Lupe Fiasco, always going to be my favorite, and I appreciate that album from him. I'm glad that, you know, he's getting better and better about himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, not as a rapper, because he will always be a top 5 rapper. He's a top 10 rapper ever, probably. Most likely. In my list, you know, he's top 3. In everybody's list, he's probably gonna end up top 10 when it's all said and done. But I'm just saying, though, I'm glad that he's getting better mentally, and he's starting to understand that, like, I just need to focus on myself, and I just need to understand that I'm this rapper, and I'm a good rapper, period. No matter what you guys say. Don't let the negativity get to him. A late album that made my list, man, I gotta say, is that Kodak album. Man. That Kodak album. That Kodak album was fire. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. From start to finish, I was expecting. I don't want to give too much because I still got to do a review. But the Kodak album from start to finish was crazy. There was only 2 tracks I really didn't like. Transgression was one of them that I just wasn't really feeling. But we got two Miami vibe tracks on there. You know what I'm saying? Where I wanted to just juke on there. You know, he from Pompano. So I'm saying there's one thing he says like, hey, I ain't no slime. I'm a Zoe. You know, don't call me that. You know, like I felt that too. You know what I'm saying? Coco Santi. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt that. You know, like I just felt like we were going to get a new Kodak from him being out of jail, and that's exactly what we got. We wanted to see where he was reflecting, where he was at in life. I know he's going through his legal trouble that happened previously. I'm gonna put that on him, but I'm not gonna put that on him because he got out of jail and he's been staying out of trouble. But then this just happened to surface. But like he said in his album, God gave him a reason, God gave him a path, and he just has to follow that, and you know, it all work out in the end for him. I just think that, you know, the album from start to finish is just like, you know, we got that trap sound. It kind of, and this album, another thing I remember too about myself when I'm listening to these trap artists, you know, I just got to remember when I was younger and I was living in Miami and I was going through that struggle and I was living in the streets and I was moving around, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, riding on the bikes, you know, like I'm saying, you from the hood. It is what it is. And listening to artists like, you know, Young Jeezy and T.I., you know, the trap artists that helped a lot of these artists. And you know, you go forward, and it's just like I was in a different mindset. If you don't really have that mindset, I live a good life now. I'm not in that atmosphere, that environment anymore. When you listen to Kodak now, and I'm just kind of thinking like, you know, going back to Miami, I'm just like, this is some real shit. This shit is fire. It really make me feel like I'm at the Jamboree, you know what I'm saying? You know, we playing Pop Warner football, we at the Jamboree, and all the games going on, everybody chilling, everybody got their outfits going on. You know, you getting the hot dogs, you got the soda, you got the Czech soda. Yeah, I know y'all know about Czech soda, but you got the Czech soda. You watching the games, you watching the 139s play the 129s. That's what we used to have back in the day, 129s, 139s, the 119s. Y'all remember that? I'm really a hood nigga. Like, I'm dead ass serious. I'm from that. Pop Warner Jamborees. If y'all know about to put the comment box below. But that's what it was back in the day. We used to watch that shit, get your best fit, and just have fun. Everybody talking about it. That was a good day. That was a good Saturday. So when you think about it like that, man, it's just, I definitely appreciate that Kodak album for what it was, because it gave me that reminiscent of my life, and it remembered who I was and where I came from. I had one more that I was gonna put, but I just decided I'm gonna make a top 12 album, so I'm not gonna say that. So I will have a top 12 albums of the year, and I'm going to save that for later. I'm not even going to save that because that definitely deserves to be, let me put a little arrow right there. That definitely deserves to be in a top album. I don't even need to be in the honorable mentions, but we're going to keep it like that. Let me know what some of y'all favorite projects of the year was in the comment box below. Let me know what y'all think of my list. I mean, like I said, I mean, we going to like what we like. You going to like what you like. And all I do ask you, look, I ask you if you're going to put in the comment box below, if you're going to put the description and you're going to put the timestamps, just put it by the timestamps and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't put the actual list to spoil it for people. Just let people watch the video and see for themselves. I did not spend 30 minutes talking for no reason to people. Just be like, I already saw it. I'm good. Just go ahead, put the timestamps in there. Look, this is what I enjoy, all right? I like all types of music. I like rap. I like R&B. I like hip-hop, country sometimes. I like techno. I like that EDM shit from once in a while. I like house music. I just like all types of music, all right? If you guys were expecting a top rap album, you're not going to get that from me because I listen to all types of music. You can go to somebody else for that. I don't hate you guys for liking what you like because we're all different people. That's what makes us human. I like what I like, and this is my list, and I'm glad that I get to, you know, have this platform to share with you guys because, you know, you guys like listening to me. You guys give me the views, so that's why I share it with you guys, because you guys are giving me good feedback. Hey, just like the video if you really liked it. Show me some feedback. If you disliked it, go ahead and dislike it. I don't even mind that. Comment, do whatever you need to do, but having some engagement with the video and help me grow. We don't keep it like that, man. Get in the comment box below. Follow me on social media. Let me know what y'all want to hear. Until the next time, we out.